All right, y'all, we're back again. Hi, my name is Carson Meredith. Pleasure to be with you again. We're focusing mainly on the severe weather potential at this point. Unfortunately, that risk has indeed come to fruition. But there's no warnings in effect at this moment, aside from the flash flood warnings. Now, I will tell you, let's just do a disclaimer right out of the gate. I don't see anything on radar right now in wave country that makes me think a warning is imminent. But these kind of setups can change quite quickly. So if there is a situation where we get a tornado warning real quick, I'll have to cut off this live stream and head into our regular TV studio to do coverage from there, because we have more resources there at our disposal during severe weather coverage. So fair warning, if I have to cut this thing short, that's the reason why. But I don't see anything alarming at this point. What you do see is still very heavy rain. Surprise, surprise. And you see a broken line of thunderstorms that stretches really from the east end of Louisville through Bullitt County, just crossed I-65, cuts over towards Hardinsburg, down into Caneyville, Kentucky, and Grayson County, and further south and west. This portion of the line is not severe. It's not. I was a little concerned about a half hour ago. That pocket that's in Bullitt County now, it's got some decent wind with it. Nothing alarming when it comes to rotation or anything like that. And quite frankly, I don't expect to see severe weather this far north into the metro, Bullitt County, and southern Indiana, because we're very stable in this part of the world. Yes, we've got loud thunder across the metro at the moment, but we don't have any storm fuel. We don't have any instability this far north for these storms to maintain strength. Still very, very heavy rain coming down in Mount Washington, basically along 150 Barchtown Road. So the eastern parts of Bullitt County, near Bullitt East, Mount Washington, Smithville, Highgrove, Solitude, Brownington. If you live in any of those communities, you are getting rocked with some very, very heavy rain at the moment. Now, I will say this portion of the line is a little wiggly. See that? And that's obviously very common around here when you get a high shear environment like we have tonight with not a ton of instability. You know, that could still cause some little rotation. Let's check it real quick here. There's nothing there. Good. So there's certainly some gusty winds. Nothing tornadic. Let's check these brighter red colors on the velocity or the wind scope. Behind the scenes, I read 41 miles per hour. So it's not out of the question that this little cluster of storms has 30, possibly 40 mile per hour gust. But it is not severe. Still very heavy rain from Mount Washington down towards Brownington and Lotus in eastern Bullitt County, basically along Bardstown Road, Highway 150. In the metro, that heavy rain is subsiding once again, but we are obviously not out of the woods when it comes to that flooding potential. That is going to continue for several more hours. We've got 5 more hours on this alert day, unfortunately. And it's mainly because of heavy rain, but that severe weather potential is obviously there. But I just wanted to touch on the metro first, since a lot of you watch us in Jefferson County and surrounding counties. But here in Louisville, heaviest rain is coming down now in the eastern part of the county. Middletown, Anchorage, Eastwood, Lake Forest, You get up there to the new Publix up there off Old Henry Road, Fern Creek, Fisherville, even J-Town still seeing some pretty heavy rain at the moment. The heaviest rain that we've seen in the metro today has been over the last 3 or 4 hours. I haven't had the chance to check the numbers in a while, but I'm almost certain we're over an inch of rain now here in Louisville. So that's the situation in the metro. But let's go a little further zoomed out. Oh boy, I don't like what I see down there in Tennessee. Do you guys? I will say the high resolution models have done a really good job so far today and tonight of capturing the potential severity of this squall line, quasi-linear convective system squall line of storms, right? We just had one tornado warning drop off the board, which is good, but we've got to watch this area that is still severe and still tornadic. This is actually near Fort Campbell, or approaching Fort Campbell, rather. Hopkinsville is under a severe thunderstorm warning at this time, right here. You see that yellow polygon? And we have a tornado warning in place for Paris, Tennessee. If you know anybody in those parts of the world, make sure you text them, give them a call, say, hey, making sure you're safe as these storms roll through. Now, why in the world am I showing you storms west of us, southwest of us? Well, let's look at the motion over the last hour or so of this line of storms. Slowly but surely marching eastward. So as we go through the next 3 hours, especially, this line of storms off to our west will keep marching eastward. Now, the greatest instability that these storms can feed on is in Tennessee. It's down towards Nashville, Murfreesboro. But some of that instability, you don't need a ton in February, guys. You know, we talk about needing a little more instability in the springtime, which we get. That's why storms can be so volatile in the springtime. The thing is, this time of year, you don't need a ton of instability because you have a ton of shear that kind of balances out the lack of instability. And with this low pressure just screaming right over wave country tonight, that is going to give us a ton of shear over the next few hours. Now the question is, how long can these storms feed off of that limited instability? They've clearly done a great job of holding their own across western Kentucky, western Tennessee. But how far east will they go? That remains to be seen. But given the fact that this punch of warmer air has occurred, as we were worried it might, the Weather Service is deciding to err on the side of caution. And they put a few of our southern counties under a tornado watch. Watch means heads up. That means be ready for a few spin-up tornadoes. So you see that tornado watch highlighted in red. It only includes 5 counties, count them, 5, in wave country. Grayson, Hart, Greene, Taylor, Adair, all in Kentucky. If you live in any of those counties, you are under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. Eastern time, 1 a.m. Central time for those counties that are in Central time. So over the next, technically 5 hours, since that's how much longer the watch is in place, it's going to be our far southern counties, as we have talked about for the last several days, that will stand the greatest risk for damaging wind gusts and perhaps a spin-up tornado as that line of storms that I just showed you out to the west barrels east. I really think that line of storms will be moving in after 10 p.m., so within the next hour, and we will likely be tracking those storms during our 11 o'clock newscast on television tonight. But again, that's where the tornado watch stands at this time. So Again, I'm not going too deep into further details of the forecast. I'll show the 10-day in a minute. Because I kind of want to keep my eye on the ball with this severe weather and flooding potential. Let's see. Comments time. Appreciate all of you watching. Nearly 1,300 of you on our social platforms right now. We appreciate every last one of you. Let's see. Amy says or asks, are the northern wave country counties supposed to be severe tonight? We do not expect that, no. Now, if you're here in Louisville, as we mentioned at the top, you're hearing a lot of thunder. You're probably seeing a ton of lightning, but none of it's severe. Your main focus, if you're not in that red zone here, if you're not in a red county on this map, if you're not in Grayson, Hart, Green, Taylor, or Adair County, your severe weather threat is very low tonight. But if you do live in any of those 5 counties, you need to be on guard over the next 3 or 4 hours. I'd say through 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, as the length of the tornado watch suggests. But the further north you are, the lower your severe risk is going to be tonight. Kentucky Girl on YouTube says it's raining so hard it's deafening. Yeah, especially if you have like a thin roof over your building. Like there's parts of the station here downtown where you can hear that rain coming down, even if it's just light rain. So it's pretty heavy tonight. So it's a little loud in some hallways around here. It's raining so hard in northwest Shelby County. Cable's lost signal and you can't watch the Kentucky game. That stinks. That's no fun. I haven't even looked at the score, to be honest with you. Oh, okay. Good. I may have just showed you guys who I root for. Let's see. Let's focus. Focus. Let's see. Nathan says it's storming crazy where he's at in Louisville. Yeah, it's been pouring here in Louisville for the last 20 or 30 minutes for sure. Brandon's all of us. Can we stop raining? Please? Can all this nonsense end? Unfortunately, the nonsense is just beginning. Felt like it started a week ago and it's still going. You'll see in the 10-day in a second. Let's see. More comments here. Weather Geeks watching coverage out of the Nashville stations. There's some great folks in that market. I'm blessed to know several folks who have or currently still work in the Nashville television market. Wonderful, wonderful people down that way. And I do expect these storms to generally weaken as they push east tonight. Let me show you where those storms are now. That way I'm not just rambling to an empty map. Bear with me. Get that wider view to show you where the storms are now down in Tennessee. And there you can see where the severe stuff is. This is in, like I said, it's pretty close to Fort Campbell. Hopkinsville down towards Paris, Tennessee. Not Paris, France. Paris, Tennessee. That's the zone that we're going to have to watch that might clip our southern counties here over the next little bit. The further north you go, the further north you go, yes, it's still pouring, and we don't need any more rain, but there's not enough instability for these storms to go severe right now. Could they still have gusty winds? Yes. But those storms moving into Grayson County right now do not look severe. Fingers crossed that trend will continue, right? It's going to be that stuff down here, the left side of your screen, that we're going to have to watch as the evening unfolds. Shonda's watching tonight. Shonda, hope you're well, my friend. Let's see. DJ King, my North Vernon snow fan. Get excited over the next couple of days, DJ King. You're going to like it. Let's see. Kristen says tons of thunder in Corden. I bet. Pretty good storm just rolled through there. Sarah asked which way are the storms moving. They are moving east for the most part tonight, east and northeast. You can see the line appears from the west and is slowly pushing east tonight. And most of this stuff should be gone by 2 a.m. That's why the tornado watch ends at 2 a.m. And that's why our alert day also ends at 2 a.m. Match up the time of when all this stuff will quiet down and get out of here. Let's see. It's loud in Mount Washington, according to Valerie. Yeah, no surprise there with that heavy rain that we talked about a moment ago. Lightning's vivid, too. Yes, it is, Shonda. You are absolutely right. Let's see if we have any questions. Everybody's just sharing what they're seeing at their house tonight. Ashley says, cold front moving in? Yes, it is. And once this cold front moves in, guys, temperatures will drop like a rock. At least tomorrow they will. Our forecast high of 32 tomorrow is really what it's going to feel like at lunchtime. We'll be in the upper 20s in all likelihood Sunday afternoon. When you factor in the wind getting closer to 30 or 35 miles per hour, it could feel more like the upper teens Sunday afternoon. So we are going back into another deep freeze, unfortunately. Very similar to what we had in January. And with it comes several snow chances too. But we still have to focus on the severe weather and flooding tonight. A few more hours, and then we can really dial in that snow and snow chance for tomorrow, and then again by Wednesday. I had a brief moment to look at the Wednesday system, Tuesday night and Wednesday technically. Oh boy, guys, it looks very, very interesting. I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Destiny says, do you see any severe storms for Louisville at all? I do not. I do see very heavy rain continuing for several more hours. Thankfully, this rain has not been torrential. It's torrential for a moment, yes, absolutely. But it's not been torrential for a long period of time to cause flash flooding, where we have virtually instantaneous rises everywhere in floodwater. But there's still going to be ponding on the roads. Hydroplaning is going to be a huge risk through this evening and overnight tonight. So if you're working a third shift, if you're driving home from a late Valentine's Day date, please be careful. Even earlier this afternoon when I was coming back in for my lunch break, it was pretty dicey. And the rain wasn't that bad around noon or 1 o'clock today. So just be very, very careful. And I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it, because I know a lot of you guys will listen, but there's some knuckleheads that won't. Do not drive through floodwaters. Don't do it. You see water over a road, turn around. Just don't fool with it. Just don't fool with it. It's frustrating that so many people keep doing that, but I digress. Leanne's asking about any hail. Good question. There could be some small hail with this band of severe storms in our southern counties. I'm talking pea to marble size. Remember, severe hail is quarter size or bigger. And I don't anticipate that tonight. Small hail can't be ruled out. Austin says this thunder is loud. So loud. Indeed. Dry time on Monday? Yes. Not as much as we need, but we'll take whatever we can get. I really think tomorrow night after sunset, we'll start to dry things out. Those snow showers will come to an end. And most of Monday looks dry. It's cold. It's going to be mostly cloudy too. There may be a couple flurries. It will not be impactful, though, if we do see any flurries Monday. Good question. Cats are playing good at half. Thanks for the update. Appreciate it. I showed my cards, didn't I, Jonathan? I'm rooting against Kentucky. Yeah. I can't help it, man. I grew up here. Always have been. Always will be. But anyway, we got more important things to focus on at the moment. Let's see. Goodness, I'm so many comments from you guys tonight. I'm way behind. Holy smokes. Let's see. Asking about snow in LaGrange in the morning. Yeah, so everybody has the chance to see a quick little thump of snow near sunrise tomorrow morning. So from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., the rain that's still lingering tomorrow morning, it's not going to be as heavy as this. It's not going to be severe, but it'll be just that lighter, showery kind of rain. It'll do a quick transition to snow tomorrow morning between 6 and 10 a.m., I'll say. And some of you could get a little coating. Maybe a few spots get lucky, see close to 1 inch of snow tomorrow morning. But what I think is going to work against us is the temperatures will hover near or just above freezing, similar to what we had back on Tuesday. And the ground's obviously going to be warmer than freezing from all the rain we've had. And we're not going to dry out the roads at all or the ground. So some of this snow will melt on contact. Now, if we have more snow showers into Sunday evening, as those temperatures start to drop, then we could have some snow actually stick. But I'm quite concerned about black ice Monday morning. Again, we're not going to dry out really a whole lot. The wind might help to dry out the roads, but there's going to be so much standing water, guys, from all the rain we've had. All that water is going to freeze as soon as we go below freezing Sunday night. So there's a very good chance we'll wait and see how the temperatures play out tonight and tomorrow morning. But I got a feeling we're going to have to flag Monday morning as an alert day for black ice that will slow you down. If you have to work on Monday, some of you might be off for the holiday. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Again, so many of you are commenting, but it's a good problem to have. Very good problem. Cody says, hey, tell you what to expect in Campbellsville. So in Campbellsville, you are under a tornado watch until 2 a.m. This line of storms, let me pause it. That might be hypnotizing. So this line of storms is just now about to move into Grayson County. That has severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings on the Tennessee border. Will continue to push eastward over the next 2 hours. And as it does so, there could be enough instability to make these storms strong to severe. Main threats will be damaging wind gust, maybe a brief spin-up tornado. That's why the tornado watch is in place for Campbellsville until 2 o'clock in the morning. I think for Campbellsville, you're likely going to start seeing these storms around 10:30 or 11. 10:30 or 11 for Campbellsville. Okay. So hope that answers your question there, Cody. Appreciate you watching, brother. All right. More comments. Let's see. Bailey's asking, can Southern Indiana see severe weather tonight? No. No severe weather for Southern Indiana, just heavy rain, which is still significant given the flooding issues we've had today. But like I said earlier, there's not it's pouring. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the extreme torrential rain that we had across southern Kentucky that caused all the flash flooding earlier today. Is there still ponding on the roads? You bet. Are creeks and rivers climbing? Yep. Could you hydroplane on the roads if you're not careful? Absolutely. But there's no flash flooding. These are more gradual flood rises that we're seeing across southern Indiana compared to what we saw in southern Kentucky earlier today. So is Marion County in the severe weather threat for spin-up tornadoes? Technically, Marion County is not under the tornado watch, but you guys are close enough to where you might just want to keep an eye on it for another through midnight, okay? I think the threat is just south of Marion County, but it's a little too close for comfort to say you're good to go, all clear at this point. Bardstown, Becky is asking. Tiffany's asking about Nelson County too. And I got to do a TV update here in about 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to wrap this up pretty quick. But we'll go to Nelson County. Let me do a different radar source. There we go. You do see the lone flash flood warning. Actually, there's a couple, but Grayson, Hart, Greene, Taylor, and Adair counties, you guys are under the tornado watch. You all are also under a flash flood warning because that's where we've seen the heaviest rain so far today. In fact, let's do an updated look at the rainfall totals. Oh, man. Wow, that total has skyrocketed in Louisville in the last 3 hours. When we came on the air for our 6 o'clock newscast tonight, that amount was a half inch, 0.5. In 3 hours, it's gone up to 2.33. So that's nearly 2 inches of rain in 3 hours. That's the kind of intense rainfall rates that we've been concerned about through the day, really. Speaking of, Mr. Good texted me a few moments ago. At his bunker, 3 inches of rain with over 2 of it just this evening. So that's what we've been talking about. A lot of spots in the metro have picked up over 2 inches of rain in the last 3 hours. And that's why you got to be careful if you're heading out tonight, guys. If I was you all, I would just lay low, settle in, have a lazy Saturday night. Once I'm done yapping, go put on a Netflix show or whatever you watch. But if you do have to be out tonight, if you're a third shift worker, please be very, very careful. If you encounter flooded roadways, don't fool with them. All right. Let's talk about Bardstown, as promised. There's still some heavier rain, especially in the northern part of Nelson County, up towards Cox's Creek. Bloomfield, you're seeing some heavier rain too. Basically north of the Bluegrass is where that heaviest downpour is at the moment. In Bardstown, Nelson County, there is no severe weather threat tonight, I don't believe. But we'll still have that risk for very heavy rain in the hours to come. All right. And it looks as though this is a good sign. Here we go. The tornado warnings are gone to our south and west. It's just all severe thunderstorm warnings. But, again, we don't want to let our guards down. It could still spin back up. I still expect this line to, in general, go to the east, maybe to the northeast a touch. So this will be an issue for our southern counties from now through 1 or 2 a.m. And then beyond that point, we can all go to sleep, and I can go to sleep. Anyway, let me pop up the 10-day since you all are begging for it. And I'll touch on Sunday. I'll touch on Wednesday. And then I got to sign off because I got to do TV. So here it comes. 32 tomorrow. That is during lunch. So when you're having lunch on Sunday afternoon, midday Sunday, whatever it might be, it's going to be near freezing. And from then on, it is all downhill from here. Once we go below freezing tomorrow afternoon, we will not get back above freezing until possibly Saturday. Ugh. Here we go again. There's no chances for tomorrow. I did bump it up a little bit. The models are fairly consistent that the morning round, when we see that quick changeover, could be a good little thumping around a half inch, maybe 1 inch in a few spots. Again, I think the warm ground, the wet ground will kind of cut into those snowfall totals a little bit, but it could certainly still cause a little trouble. And then for the rest of the day, once we get past that morning burst, we may just have these streams of snow showers moving through all day. And once those temperatures go below freezing Sunday afternoon, some of this snow could stick. I don't think it will initially, but as we get colder, it could certainly give us a little coating on the top of the car or on the roof. So there's Futurecast, full screen here. 8 a.m. Sunday, there's that little thumping of snow. I will say this model is colder. It's got us just below freezing in a few spots once the snow, or as the snow is moving through. If that happens, we could certainly have more travel impacts and more accumulations. We'll have to watch that trend as the day unfolds. Then you go into Sunday afternoon, that thumping of snow is gone, but we still have these snow showers that just kind of stream through. And again, once we go below freezing, any snow that's still falling is going to stick, and any moisture still on the roads is going to freeze. So there's a very good chance we'll have an alert day for Monday morning. Want to wait and see how these temperatures play out first. And we need to get through tonight as well. Snowfall forecast for now, we're going to say under an inch, up to 1 inch in a few spots. But if these temperatures trend colder, we may have to bump up that snowfall total in the morning. Stay tuned. So that's Sunday. Monday's okay, cold, couple flurries, no big deal. Most of Tuesday is fine during the day. It's Tuesday night when things get real interesting. Take this full screen again. This looks good, snow lovers. This looks good. This could be a very impactful snowstorm. Yes, I'm saying snowstorm now. And it could be for some of you, yeah, I'll say it. For some of you, this could be the most snow you've seen with a single event this year, especially if you live in the bluegrass, if you live south of Louisville. Because remember, you guys in January, you saw a few inches of snow, but not a ton. You saw a lot more ice, right? There's no precip type battle here. It is all snow, no doubt about it. With that Arctic air in place, it's going to be a fluffy snow too, because of the dry air. Still too early for numbers, but I'm just telling you now, as I've had a couple of seconds to look at the data, Tuesday night into Wednesday, get ready, snow lovers. It's going to be fun. Thursday's still a little wishy-washy. There might be another Clipper-like system that tries to scoot through behind the main storm. But there's your snow cover potential. I mean, this is going to be an accumulating storm. There's no doubt about it, at least at this point. So there's your fun. Could it be one last hurrah? I don't want to say that for sure just yet. But you do notice by the end of the 10-day, we do start to climb back into the 40s. The trend continues to be warmer for the last few days of February and into the first few days of March. So the wild ride that is Ohio Valley winter weather rolls on. That is for sure. All right, a few more comments. I got to do a TV update in 10 minutes. So let's see what we got. What time? Bill asked, can we sleep in Cecilia tonight? I think in Cecilia, you'll be clear after 1 a.m. Maybe earlier than that, but we'll say 1 a.m. to be safe. This is not an all-night severe weather threat at all. Not at all. Just for a few hours. Just for a few more hours. Is the storm track for Wednesday set in stone, or is it still not locked in? Well, because we're 4 days out, I'd never want to say a storm's track is locked in, because there can certainly be adjustments. But what I will say is models have been very consistent on this storm track for a while, for several days. So take that as you will. Chris has a good question. When are we going to dry out with no rain? Next weekend. Cold Friday. Well, it's cold all next week. Highs in the teens and 20s, lows in the single digits. Wind chills could get below zero Wednesday night and Thursday night. It looks as though next weekend is quiet. Thank the Lord. 36 Saturday, 42 next Sunday. So next weekend, I think, is when we'll start to dry things out just a bit. Back to the severe weather. Stacy asks, will Shepherdsville get severe weather tonight? Highly unlikely. Very heavy rain, yes. Severe storms, probably not. Breckenridge County, severe weather, same story. Highly unlikely. Mainly just heavy rain. Cheryl's asking, how much snow? How much snow? We don't have exact numbers yet. Okay. I'm hopeful we'll have numbers by Monday at the latest. In fact, we will have numbers by Monday at the latest. So, yeah, stay tuned. Wait another 24, 36 hours, and then we may be able to start getting those snow numbers out. All right, guys, I got to get ready to do a cut-in on TV. So I have to wrap this up tonight. I appreciate you guys watching all day. This has been a wild day. A wild day. It's been a wild week. And it looks like the wild roller coaster ride will keep on going for a few more days. I will do an update on TV here in about 5 minutes, around 9:37 on the severe weather situation. I'll do another one in the 10 o'clock hour, and then you'll get a full forecast update from me again on Wave News at 11 tonight. I am off tomorrow. Taking some time off to be with the fam. You will have Tawana Andrew tomorrow morning on Wave News Sunrise. And then the boss, Kevin Harnett, will be here graciously filling in for me tomorrow night. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this evening. We'll keep an eye on these storms in southern Kentucky. Tornado watch continues for a few of our counties until 2 a.m. And then we turn our attention to cold and snow because Mother Nature just loves playing games with us. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you on TV here in a couple of minutes with an update, and then I'll have a full forecast, say that 10 times fast, coming up on Wave News at 11. Good night. See you later.